Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. I messed it up again. I messed up the Rumble stream again. I'm JJ. That's Deacon. This is Dave. We are Dave. You're under. So you can just push that out of the way. You just move that. Just move that. And
there we go.
Okay, good. We are the Internet Dads. We are some of the Internet Dads. There's a lot of Internet Dads. But hey, I have a special announcement, everybody. This young lady right here. What did you just do?
I did my own shoes without help.
Tied her own shoes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
That is awesome.
All right. Congratulations, Joe.
Congrats.
Okay. All right. All right. Are you guys going with mom?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye. I'll see you later. Have fun at. That's it. Hey. All right. Okay. All right. How many did you have?
5.
Okay. Well, I put one.
This one was one.
I put one in a bowl. Just okay. Bye-bye.
I love it.
Love you.
Bye.
Yeah. Good job on your shoes. Now you can tie my shoes.
She can't.
She can't.
I love
Oh
that.
boy. I know.
I love it.
All right.
Dave
Okay,
Dave and I don't have that anymore. It's
I
different.
know.
It's kind of the same, but it's different.
Yeah. Oh.
It's very different.
I'd rather it be coming out of those little girl voices and little boy voices than
There was on my
voices
travels
now.
this weekend, there was a mom at the airport who was just overwhelmed and her husband wasn't with her. I'm like, do you need me to push the cart while you deal with that for a moment? I'm good. It's fine. So she let me help her out for a minute, but yeah, I miss those days sometimes.
Ashley and I the other day when we were, it wasn't that day. I was going to say it was the day we went out to eat pizza when Trump assassination attempt. And when we were coming out to the car, it was just me and her. And when we were coming out to the car, you could see this woman. She had been in the place that we were, and she had like 2 or 3 kids, and one of them was really rambunctious, and she was trying to get the baby in the car, and they were parked right beside us. So she was there trying to get the seat in the car, and me and Ashley just kind of stood. I didn't want to, make her feel like I was trying to hurry her up. So we just kind of stood back a little bit, and we were talking and, taking a picture of something or doing what. And she turned around and she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was like, lady,
Want some help?
We've got 5 kids. Take all the time you need.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Hey, buckle in those seats into the little safety hooks in the car. That ain't easy. Some of them are
nope.
Some of them are a real pain in the ass.
You're cool. Make sure we're not in no hurry.
Yeah.
We understand.
All right. So I fixed the Rumble stream. So for those of you joining us on Rumble, thank you very much. Today's episode, DEMS conspiring to replace Joe, and we're the Internet Dads. Okay. So, and we've all been talking because my daughter tied her shoes for the first time. It's pretty awesome. It happened right before the show. Super exciting. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff happened yesterday, guys. I don't know if you were paying attention or not. It's always curious to me when Deacon texts me at night whenever I expect him to be completely asleep. And last night he texted me. He's like, "The speech is pretty good." So I was like, "Well, Deke's up late listening to Trump. I can't believe it." But before Trump got on stage, so we'll get to that and your thoughts on Trump's nomination. And Dave, you have probably some insights into some of the security concerns that we've had over the last week. But before we get into that, as I was driving home from work yesterday, there was a breaking story reported by a reporter that
Bob Newhart passed away. I heard that.
I know it's so sad. I mean, I've seen him on so many TV shows and so many movies. So, no.
Oh, okay, good.
No.
I was good. I was
And to the family of Bob Newhart, if you ever run across this, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
No. I know you were going to political. That's why I threw Bob Newhart in there. I got a chance to see Bob Newhart live one time. He was at a place close by, and our radio station was the big morning show, and we were giving away tickets, and we had given away like front row tickets and stuff like this. And so we had some back, like 3rd tier seats that me and the other morning show co-host we snagged them up from the prize cabinet, and we were going. And it's 5 minutes before we're going up to our seats, 5 minutes before the show's supposed to start, we saw the head guy of the theater that we knew And
Yeah.
he was like, I'm missing some people in the front row. Do you guys want to fill those seats? And we were like,
Nah.
yes. So I got to see Bob Newhart in the front row.
Yeah.
So,
We don't
Nice.
want it to look like, people aren't here.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally what it was.
Oh, let me just say,
I threw JJ off kilter. Did you
you
see that?
did. You have.
Dave?
You have.
I completely.
Did you watch
threw
the
him
video
off.
I posted, Deke? Did you watch the video I
No,
posted in
okay.
general? It was a Newhart video. My favorite skit. Stop it. Go ahead, JJ. You were looking for your thing, and I was giving filler there while you were looking.
No. All right. Okay.
All right.
Oh no, I didn't see that. I didn't see it. I always loved the Bob Newhart driving skit, and he did that
Okay.
on stage while we were there. All right, you can go ahead with your politics.
Allow me to try this one more time.
Talk
all
about
right.
important stuff.
So, all right. Yesterday, I showed you, Deke. I showed you my last DEM standing spreadsheet, and I was marking off DEMs that were on there. And yesterday morning, news broke that Obama was basically saying, "Joe, you need to really, really reevaluate what you're doing here, Joe."
So,
You
Dave,
can't-
you know that JJ's keeping. He's got a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I gave my guess was going to be Kamala Harris was going to be the last Dem to leave him.
The last one supporting
Yeah,
Joe.
you asked me that.
I don't know.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
You think so? All right.
She might be at the very front of the list, but she might also be at the very back of the list on. And
yeah.
I think the last person supporting Joe will probably be Jill, but political wise,
that's true. She likes to have those White House dinners.
But political wise, I think it's going to be somebody unknown or a lower name.
I don't think we're going to find out because I think that this is accelerating so fast that it's becoming like a little avalanche. So
before I left, I told my wife that I expected Biden to drop out on Tuesday. And I said, but I think we would hear an announcement by Thursday at the latest. That's what I told my wife before I left.
The big story yesterday is he contracted gonorrhea, so now he's going to have to drop I'm sorry, it was COVID. COVID, my bad. We got that.
No, it's Hunter is the one that has gonorrhea.
COVID.
It's probably Hunter.
My bad.
You might have got those wires crossed.
What?
Change that.
Okay. All right. Here we go. This happened yesterday morning, where Obama suggests that Biden should reconsider the viability of his candidacy. Now, the only reason why something like this gets out but doesn't really have a source is that somebody in the Obama camp or somebody that's in the periphery that's already pressuring Joe Biden is leaking these things out. I think that Nancy Pelosi and Obama are convinced that Joe doesn't have it to win this race, and they are going around and they're making phone calls like, we got to do something else here. And I think that they are strategically leaking out this pressure information that the most famous, most elite of the Democrats are quietly suggesting to Joe that he can't be in the race, while at the same time publicly saying, well, if he runs, I'm going to support him. But in the back, they're like, he can't do this. He can't run. So I think this report, this story, and the other ones like it are part of a pressure campaign to push Joe Biden into making the decision, putting the story into the public like, Democrats don't think he can run, don't think he can make it. And it's going to force the Biden campaign to either react to the story or do something to counter the narrative. That's what this story is doing.
Are you suggesting that the media controls the narrative?
I'm suggesting that the media is the delivery device of the story, but there's people out there that are trying to project a certain story because they want the Biden team to react to it in a way that gets Biden out.
Yeah, I was lacing.
I don't know that. I don't know that the media is necessarily inventing the narrative, but they're certainly they're certainly complicit in telling a certain type of story. Yeah.
I did say controlling.
Now that was yesterday morning. Yesterday, about 5 or 6 o'clock at night, as Trump was preparing to go on stage. He went on stage at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, but about 5 or 6 Central Time anyway. 5 or 6 o'clock at night, another story broke, and that was a report from Mark Halperin on X has stated that Joe Biden has agreed to step out of the presidential race. So here we have another story leaked or, sources from inside. But basically now the story is out there that's being propagated that Joe Biden's already agreed to get out. It's just a matter of like when and, whether or not he's going to endorse anybody or something like that. It becomes less speculation once it's in print like this. And now the Biden campaign's either got to run this back and be like, oh, I'm not dropping out, or they have to keep their mouth shut and wait a couple days and actually drop out. Because the last thing he wants is to drop out because Trump told him to. You know what I mean? This is the tweet from Mark Halperin. Oh, go ahead.
Hang on. There's a train.
Choo-choo. Let's see. Let me pull this tweet up. But you had something to say, Deke?
Yeah, this is like the fourth train that's come through in 3 hours. You're talking about the media, and you're talking about all this stuff, and you're talking about the media spins a narrative and does this and blah, 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 blah. But we need to realize that 90% of the media is controlled by AT&T, CBS, Comcast, Disney, News Corp, and Viacom. 6 companies own and control 90% of the media. 37 years ago, when we were kids, there were 50 companies that controlled 90% of the media. Now there are 6. So who controls the narrative? Because the other 10%, when 90% of the news is saying X does not cause Y, but 10% of these fringe news sources are saying X does cause Y. Right? You see how it's so easy to brainwash the 90 IQ people?
I mean, it's not like there's one narrative story that's told. I mean, what we have here is a ball of yarn.
Just tell one.
Right.
If we told a million, then we're going to confuse people, get them pissed off, and they won't care anymore. And we can just do what we want. Right?
I just want facts reported, man.
There are some people that do report facts, and there are some of these news people that do report. And I do think that these people, these young kids, come in with great intentions, good intentions. It's the crap that you have to wade through in order to. I've seen it sorta in radio. We had a head music director, the music director of this particular company that I worked for, who was head over of all the radio stations. Do y'all know the song Toby Keith, My List? Where he makes the list, go for a walk, say a little prayer.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that song.
So at the very first verse of that song, he's talking about how he gets up and he's getting ready for the day and he grabs his list. And the chorus is him reading off his list, go for a walk, say a little prayer, take a deep breath of mountain air, all that crap. And then the second one, the music director did not like the beginning of that song. So he made me, who I was the imaging director, I was forced to edit that song, where it was just the beginning. There's like a phrase of guitar, and then I had to edit out the first verse entirely, so it went straight into the chorus.
Oh, really?
And then it went into the first chorus, second verse, second chorus, bridge, last chorus.
Oh my God.
Into the song. And we got all kinds of complaints and stuff like that. So if you don't think that people control stuff that you see and hear,
okay,
because of personal preferences,
there are. I think it's clear that there are people who intentionally add to narratives or create narratives in order to influence the big thing. But the big thing is also a chaos ball. It's got all of these inputs from independent journalists. Yes, you have some from corporate journalists or whatever. And some of them are trying to tell true things, or they're definitely trying not to get caught telling false things. And it's kind of like this big ball of chaos. And there are some groups, organizations that know that if you add a certain message at a certain time, you can't move the whole chaos ball, but you can kind of make it tilt a little bit in
Right.
one way that's favorable. So
That's the value of
I-
leaked footage.
yeah, I think that's really what we have here is that you have like the, establishment players, the longtime Democrats, the Nancy Pelosi's, et cetera, even the Obama Democrats. They know that if they start leaking out this message that, there's cracks in the Biden wall, that the journalists are going to pick it up right away, because the journalists are always looking for blood. They're always looking for like something, a story. And, so if they can just create a chink in the armor, all they need is a chink. And then the crazy news ball machine will do the rest of the work. And that kind of pressure very quickly becomes something that's insurmountable. In addition to, among the Democratic elites, you also have all the major donors that are basically reaching out to the Biden campaign and being like, until you guys figure this out, we're not going to donate any more money, the big money, not the 5 and 10s via Act Blue, but like the $150,000 dinner guys. So this is the tweet that broke out last night. Multiple sources outline the apparent state of play on Biden at this time. Plans to announce withdrawal from nomination as early as this weekend, Sunday most likely. John Meacham polishing up some remarks. Biden will not resign the presidency. He will not endorse Kamala Harris. They want an open convention with Harris and some other candidates, and super delegates will not be allowed to vote on the first ballot. So at the convention, they want to have the state delegates vote in the first round to weed out the candidates. There could be like dozens of candidates. We really have no idea. And then on the second round of votes, they're going to let their super delegates, which is the Democratic Party machine, to make sure that Democratic elites get what they want. That's their mechanism, because democracy.
We're still 1 month from the Democratic National Convention.
Right.
It starts August 19th. I just looked it up because I didn't know.
There's also this. Harris is vetting at least 4 possible running mates, including Andy Bashir. So isn't that your governor?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
your governor could be the vice president's vice
No,
president.
Hey,
God,
I've met
Jesus,
him.
Lord, no, please kill me now. Jeez, no. God.
So you're not.
Please.
Well, hey, that would get him out of Kentucky, Deke. It would get him out of Kentucky.
It would get him out of Kentucky.
Oh no! Oh no!
You know what?
He just turned blue.
He's a Harris voter.
Harris
All right.
Bashir.
Yeah.
I mean, his family, the Bashir family would fit perfectly in those Democratic families. The Clintons, the Pelosi's, that family from a Kentuckian standpoint, who's been living here for 47 years now, born and raised bluegrass state.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've known about the Bashir family for a long time. Him, Andy, his daddy. Yeah.
True blue Americans.
Wasn't his daddy
right?
in the teens? President or governor in the teens? Like 2016?
Yeah.
Just not that long ago.
Steve Bashir, his dad was governor like just 2 or 3 before him.
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Steve Bashir, I think it was somebody else.
You
and
got,
it was, what's his
you got
name?
some
Steve
legacies
Bashir.
there.
Yeah, it is.
So
It
exciting
is.
for you.
And so his dad tried to start in the late 80s or early 90s. I think it was the 90s. It wasn't the late 80s. I think it was the 90s. I'd have to look it up. His dad, they've been really trying to push getting gambling, legal in Kentucky for a long time. 3 decades they've been trying to do this. And Andy Bashir, when he got into office, guess what's now legal in Kentucky? They've been trying to do it since
DraftKings commercials. DraftKings commercials are now legal in Kentucky.
So I noticed that because I do radio, that's my specialty is
over the
audio
place.
commercials. So as soon as gambling went legal in Kentucky, we started getting I started hearing all kinds of ads for the gambling
Kevin Hart.
websites. And there was a specific one that I kept seeing and hearing, and it was of Kevin Hart. And I was like, oh, that's a donut spot. So Kevin Hart has went through there and done all this acting and whatnot. But when he actually says gambling now Kentucky, you can blah 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 blah. When he says Kentucky, it's not showing Kevin Hart doing that. So that's either a voiceover or an AI voiceover, and I really think it was an AI voiceover of him saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Those are
But
called.
they just plug that. They just plug the local.
It's a donut. I'll make a spot. I'll put a music bed under it, but it'll be me going blah 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 blah, and then in the middle I've got 10 seconds to come in this week to try out the blah blah blah. This week only.
Okay.
Blah blah
So
blah.
it makes it easy to just lay it in and reuse the same thing.
I don't have to cut it every time.
All right. So the Democratic Party is trying to get rid of Biden, just like everybody else. Now, there's also the do you guys have any? Do you guys want to talk about Trump's speech last night?
Can
you don't
I
want to talk
didn't
about
hear
Trump's speech?
Oh,
you didn't get to hear it.
Oh,
I
watched some
I was
of it.
traveling still.
Well, there was just a couple of videos real quick that I wanted to show.
Okay, sure. Let's do security stuff because we haven't had Deke on we haven't had Dave on during the week. So go ahead.
So there was Hulk Hogan was there yesterday. Did you get to see any of the?
I've seen still photos. If you have a video, I haven't seen it.
Let me show you a real quick video of the RNC entrance yesterday. This
Ladies and gentlemen, President of America! President Camacho!
Oh, my bad. I got the wrong one. My bad. Let me get the
wrong YouTube video.
That's the wrong.
Everybody needs to
clip
watch
there.
that movie. Seriously, if you
best
haven't,
movie.
please watch that movie.
It's the greatest movie ever. Here's the clip I was. That's my bad. Hold on.
Oh no! Oh, you.
I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
All right.
Can't tell the difference.
Oh, good.
This needs
what's
more
the difference
smoke.
between those two clips?
Yeah.
Management needs
More
to know.
smoke.
Wow. That's fun.
No,
I mean,
it is.
like,
Did you see? So Kid Rock last night. We were sitting on the couch, and Ashley was having to go pick up kids and do all this crap like she does. And she was singing in there, and Kid Rock was on stage, and he was singing "American Badass," blah 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 blah, and it was showing the crowd members, and it was like JD Vance was like, and all the crowd. It would be one guy in a sea of people going. And Ashley was like, this is kind of cringy. I was like, yeah, this is not Kid Rock's crowd, so to speak. But after he got off stage, they brought Dana
not
White
the suits.
out.
Dana White. Mhm.
Yeah, and he
I
gave
miss Dana White.
Yeah,
Seriously?
he gave a real nice speech. Dana was on vacation somewhere
He was in
far
Italy.
away.
He was in
And,
Italy.
Yeah, and he flew back to do this. He initially said no, and I think his wife was like, "You got to do this." So like 30
Trump was
minutes later, he
just
called
a
back.
shot in the head, Dana.
Yeah, he gave a real nice speech, and then
Okay.
Trump.
So
got
he
on there.
left. He left the day Trump got shot, and there was
Oh,
rumors
really?
going around that he flew out that day. But there were rumors going around that Trump was seen ringside with Dana White at UFC fight that night that he got shot. Like, come on, this is garbage. Don't.
Yeah, that's not. I don't.
But Trump is often ringside with Dana White.
Oh yeah, no, major. I got confused for a second. I did watch the Dana White speech. Actually, I did watch the Dana White speech. That was a strong.
Were you thinking of
speech.
Dana Carvey?
I was. How did you know? I was like, what? Dana Carvey was there?
So there was a moment last night. There was a moment the other night. We played his granddaughter's speech the other day.
Kai,
And
yes.
I really thought that was such a brilliant move and such a powerful speech coming from her. But last night, if you were sitting there watching Trump and JD Vance are sitting there, and Laura Trump, Eric's wife, walks by with their kids. She's got a son and daughter, and very well behaved children, by the way, very well behaved children. And his youngest little granddaughter there, she's like giving him a hug. She wants to give him a hug, and he gives her a hug, and then he just puts her up on his knee. And he sits
Yeah.
there with her on his knee for the longest time. And I was just like, that's great. That's a
Yeah.
great, as my strategy mind kicks in going, that shows that he's a grandfather. He's a normal, person, and he does
Yeah.
this just like her
He's
speech
not
said.
just the cartoon character that you saw in WWE or on The Apprentice.
Yeah, it's not the guy you saw on The Apprentice. That was a character. Yes.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
so I love that part.
This has been a like it's crazy that we had Trump for president for 4 years, and that entire time you had the media lying about him constantly, and Russia, collusion, traitor, asset, whatever, all of this garbage. And
sorry, go
ahead.
I'm sorry, my
well,
brain's
and
going.
then like these messages it takes a long time to systematically dismantle. Trump's a racist. No, he's not a racist. He's not a racist at all. He's not. And they just keep with these messages for so long. It's systematically dismantled. But one event on Saturday, it can change the perception of many, many people. It won't change everybody's perception. But then you have like 4 days of this RNC of like, the Republican establishment fought tooth and nail to stop Trump for years. Like they were also not pro-Trump, but now the party is coalescing around him, and they know like this is the guy. This is a real guy, and he's actually trying to help the country. He's a real grandfather. He's a real father.
Do you remember 10 years ago or so that when the first rumors of Donald Trump running for president came around? What did you think?
I mean,
he's run one other time, hasn't he? I mean, outside of when he was elected, I think this is his third time running for president.
I don't know.
Well, it was 2016 and 2020, and then 2024.
Okay, so yeah, that would make sense. I was thinking there was one more time that he had ran for president.
I mean, at the time, we were just coming out of Obama, Biden, and Hillary was the party's nominee for the Democratic Party, and I was just like, oh my god. And I remember there were like, this is my feeling about the 2016 election. We went into the primaries of for the 2016 cycle, and I was like, every one of these Republicans, Mitt Romney, etc., they're all cardboard garbage. They are inauthentic. They are, manufactured presence or whatever. And Trump was just destroying them one at a time. Whenever they attacked him, he would just absolutely wreck them. I thought it was entertaining. That's what I thought. I want to see liars get wrecked. That's what I was thinking. So, I mean, that's how I felt about the first run altogether. Even my view of him now is definitely more human, and I get the feeling that he is way more. My feeling is that Trump's attitude right now is much more somber since last week. Like I think it's been a radical shift in his baseline attitude, because prior to this it was like the TV guy, the entertainer, who was just I'm just gonna shake things up, and I'm good at this, and I can just steal upon. And then it was like, they're lying about me constantly, they're charging me with all these cases, I'm gonna fight back, I'm gonna fight all of this, and I'm gonna prove them wrong. But on Saturday something happened, and he was like, oh, God saved my life, I'm supposed to be dead, I have a mission to do. And he's not joking about stuff now. You know,
I
he's
think it
not
was Tucker Carlson or Tucker Carlson. What's his last name?
Carl
Carlson. Thank you. I'm
Carlson.
blanking on it. I
Yeah.
think it was him that said, "Getting shot in the face changes a person." I think that's what Tucker said. And,
probably true.
granted, Trump was not shot in the face, but that was his
He's shot in the
his
head.
comment.
I saw a
Yes,
video
yes.
this morning. I thought about putting it in, but then I didn't. I decided against it, and it was
Look
a
gross.
zoomed up. It was a zoomed up close up of one of those angles, and you can actually. It was in super slow motion. You can actually see like you don't see the bullet. You just see like his ear move and a hole appear in his ear.
Right.
You can see the
Wow.
hole just appear in his ear, and then you see all of the real slow. You see the other one go. I
Yeah,
mean, you can
yeah.
see the
Yeah,
reaction.
it wasn't
of
that
how
there was one
close it
bullet. There were
was.
like 8 bullets,
Yeah,
you know?
it's definitely the air pressure and
Yeah.
whatnot pushing his ear. You can see move. I should have brought it up, but I decided not to play it on the show.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a feeling. It's just me taking all the things that we see in my kind of observations, and I feel like Trump's like, I think like the jokes and the ha-has are out of this now, and I feel like he's like,
Do you? I think I've brought
serious.
that up before about the whole conspiracy about that story that was written. I downloaded it from Hoopla. I'm listening to it, and I can't remember the author, but it's a 3-part story that was written in the late 1800s when the Oz books were very popular, and these books were called The Adventures of Baron Trumpf, and he was a little
Oh.
German boy, Baron Trumpf. Okay.
Okay.
And Baron
all right.
Trumpf goes through all these adventures and whatnot. But he ends up, I haven't gotten all the way through it. I'm just giving you a real big, light synopsis. In like
Yeah.
the second or third book, the third book's called The Last President or something like that. And in the second book, he befriends, or the first book, he befriends this man named Donald, Don, who lives on Fifth Avenue in New York City. And he helps Barron, he's his mentor, and helps him through these books. So, Barron, the last book's called The Last President, or one of those books called The Last President. And it's where Donald, the man who lived on Fifth Avenue, became the president of the United States and stopped all the tyranny and stuff that was going on. So, when this guy died, the author of these books, here's how the conspiracy story goes. When this guy died, his estate or something was bought by Donald Trump's grandfather.
Right.
And Donald Trump's grandfather was very good friends with Nikola Tesla.
Okay.
And so the conspiracy people have put together a story that postulates, because he was friends with Nikola Tesla, and Tesla supposedly had all this knowledge and supposedly had this time machine. What if? And this book
Right.
has been passed on through the Trump people.
I've heard notions about this story before, and the predictive kind of
I just checked it out on Hoopla yesterday because I was
Yeah.
like, I want to know. I want to hear this story for myself. I don't want to hear this
Yeah.
secondhand crap that I hear.
There
The
are-
secondhand conspiracy crap is what gets me interested in finding out the root of the story. Like that crap that I put up here on Discord. I didn't want to like bring it out everywhere, but the Leviticus stuff and whatnot.
Oh yes,
about
yeah,
the blood
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
ear. And I was like, I want to know Dave's profession. Dave
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
more about this than I do before I fall into this. Hey, look at this, like most people do. I like to know some information a little bit. Sometimes I fall for that trap, but not
Yeah,
all the time.
that one definitely. If you want me to touch on it, I'm glad to.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
basically,
They can go
the
to the
blood
Discord
needs to
server.
come. The blood needs to come from somewhere else. A
Yeah.
pure sacrifice. You can't. The blood can't come from yourself. You can't purify
It
yourself.
was this thing where they were trying to use biblical stuff to justify all kinds of stuff.
They will always use
and
both
they
sides.
always do that.
Both
And
sides.
I don't like. Yeah. There was something that I wanted to touch on again, JJ. That this is there's a couple of things here, conspiracy wise, since we're on conspiracy
Sure.
type stuff.
Okay.
I showed this video the other day, and we had a big meet. You and I had a huge conversation about this particular woman that was standing behind Trump. Now, don't worry. This video come from X, that come from TikTok, and it was just, I don't know what all this writing is and whatnot on the video, so ignore what it says. But I want you to watch the video again, just
All
to
right.
watch the woman. So
All
we're
right.
watching
But
this
she
woman.
had that phone ready, like for something to happen.
Now, doesn't it look like she's acting weird?
Maybe, but there may be like a
watch
commotion
it.
happening off to the
It
side.
looks like she's.
Boom.
I think I agree. Looking at Secret Service, so looking to the roof, but then she looks like she's looking at someone in front too, or like someone cued something.
She had that phone up
Because here are the shots
immediately.
too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a long conversation about that, and you were just trying to justify certain things, and I was like, okay, blah blah blah. It's hard to do this, and I just thought it was very fishy, very fishy. We found out who that woman is.
Oh, okay.
Of course, the internet found out who that woman is. That woman is Janine. Oh, geez, I don't know if I can say her last name. DeGiuseppe. DeGiuseppe. All right, I'm just going to pull her up here. DeGiuseppe.
Yeah.
DeGiuseppe.
According to Mike
Gi-
Engelman, that's
DeGiuseppe.
Janine.
DeGiuseppe.
The guys,
Yeah.
Giuseppe.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
according to
Yeah.
this Twitter post, she was the assistant director. She's to the FBI, sitting directly behind Trump at the Butler rally. So if you go into looking at, there was an article. Let's see if I still have it up here on my phone. There was an article about her that was posted in the Atlantic years ago. And when she became the assistant director of this branch of the FBI, she pledged diversity.
Sure. That's pretty much
Which is pretty much normal.
promoted in the last few years.
But that's who they think this person is, and this has just come out. But this woman is very very interesting. Her actions were very interesting, so that very well may or may not. People are saying it's her. People are not saying it's her. So
okay, so you know who else
might
didn't
not
panic and stampede? Like the entire crowd there, nobody panicked and stampeded, which normally
No.
happens at a shooting. So, you know, the fact that she didn't panic and stampede is consistent with everybody else there.
I am sorry. I'm not taking your bullshit defense of her actions. That woman's actions were very, very odd. I don't care if they were positive or negative. They
Right.
were odd. And
Here's
you don't
my
just
concern.
pick average Joe to sit behind people like that. Those people are
So-
placed.
Okay.
We have
Here's
this story.
Hold on. Here's the null hypothesis. The null hypothesis is she works for the FBI and she supports Trump and she went to the rally. Now, any other alternative hypothesis is that she has some nefarious agenda and for some reason wanted to get it on her iPhone at the shooting of President Trump. That's the alternative hypothesis. Okay. So that's the two major. There could be maybe other hypothesis, but that's the two. The baseline is like she does work for the FBI and she's just a Trump supporter and wanted to show up to the rally. The other is something weird is going on. Okay, so what is your concern, Dave?
Well, let's start with something weird is going on. And we've got an individual who is, you said, pledged diversity. So that's going to be a tack that we want to put in the wall, right? Now we have this individual on the screen that's wearing a hat and sunglasses. It's a female with dark hair. Does this look like anybody else on our wall here of people we've put up who've said diversity or things like that, and just try to apply this very nondescript or kind of hidden face and apply it to one of these faces? When you showed the picture of her, and the picture of the lady with the glasses, I don't feel the facial structures were similar enough.
The
Um,
lips didn't really match so much.
No,
for me,
but I will say if
but
she
that's
is
you can change
Where's
that.
the side by
anybody
side?
who
You pull that
works
side by side
anybody
up?
who works for anybody who is funded
get it.
by federal government, I think it's anybody, are going to fall under things like the Hatch Act,
Yeah.
and they have to be very careful about showing up at. I mean, they can support their candidates, sure, but they have to be very, very careful about that because, yeah, that does not look like her
Yeah.
at all.
Look how.
That is not the same person.
I
No,
mean,
don't think so either.
I mean,
yeah,
look at the neck.
yeah. This
That
woman
lady
here
is
is
in
less
pretty good shape.
filled, less full.
That lady there is in pretty
Yeah.
good shape, and not that
And
she's not in good
yeah.
shape, but the neck is completely different. So I
So,
would be
yeah,
very careful of.
Well, I
I'm-
mean, I can make my neck look different if I'm setting up straight or if I'm
this woman here is
slouching down.
probably $125, $135 maybe. That woman there is
You
not.
get me a bad picture of. I mean, you get
Yeah,
a picture
alright.
of last year, and I look completely
That's why.
different.
That's why matching photo is pretty. And hold on, her hat says Jesus. Go back. Jesus.
My savior,
is it?
Trump, my president.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I can buy that down the street at the freaking Texaco,
Yeah,
dude.
you could
Sure,
probably get
but
that on
if
the
you
way
were-
into the rally.
If you were an FBI agent that was attempting to hide herself in the crowd,
You would have showed
that
up.
You'd be like,
Dude,
maybe you'd have just like a regular hat.
dude, me and my buddy, I had a hippie buddy. His name was Swami. I'm not making this up. His real name was Brad. We called him Swami. And Swami introduced me to fish. And Swami was a crazy man, but he was a great heart. And he had so much confidence. And every so often at the fish show, he'd go, Rudd, some narcs back there, man. And you'd turn around, there'd be two old guys with brand new Grateful Dead shirts, brand new tie-dye shirts and a hat with some sunglasses and some freaking Tiva sandals on.
They got the disguise right.
Yeah, and he would always be like, those are narcs, man. So as we got older, I was saying one time I was doing that. I was standing there at the show with my sandals on and my Grateful, I had an old Grateful Dead shirt. But I was like, I wonder if I'm the narc to one of these kids out here. They're pointing at me going, that's the narc, dude.
When I was at
the clean shirt is the giveaway.
Yeah.
I was at the last ZZ Top concert they did together, and the row in front of me, man, they just all lit up at the same time. And I'm looking at my buddies over there. I'm like, where are the dang narcs at when you need them? I want to just enjoy the show. I don't need a contact buzz.
You're going to get
yeah.
All right.
All right.
Did you have any other-
One
you
more
said you had some
conspiracy
other
thing
video
for you,
clips.
JJ. One more. This one's a
Sure.
big one.
I'm not sold
there
on.
was-
I'm not sold on FBI woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'm not
fine.
either.
Okay.
That's
all right,
fine.
moving on.
I'm really not kind of either. I want to just bring that up. This one's a big one though. I went to bed before Trump stopped talking last night. It was like 10:45. I was like, dude, I got to get up in like 5 hours. I'm going to bed.
Trump stayed up later than you.
Yeah. So I went to bed. So
He's twice your age.
after Trump's speech, an opera singer sang a song. Okay. I'm gonna play the song. for you.
Okay.
We're not gonna play the whole song, but I'm just gonna play this
Yeah, it's
clip
just
here.
some of it.
I'm just gonna
Let us
play
know
a
what's
little
going
part
on.
of it. Let's get to her.
Nella tua fredda stanza, guarda di le stelle.
It's really pretty, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Really pretty song. All right. That song is Nessian Dorma. All right.
Okay.
Nessian Dorma. Nessian
Somebody sleeping.
Dorma. Huh?
Somebody's sleeping.
Nessia Dorma. Yeah, Dorma probably means sleeping. Yeah, Nessium. Nessun.
Necessary sleep.
I bet that's what that means. Unnecessary sleep. Necessary sleep is what this
That's what I
means.
said. Necessary sleep.
Because it's played at the end of the
End.
film, The Sum of All Fears. And at the end of the film, The Sum of All Fears, all the traitors and deep state actors are executed in that film while this song is playing. And they say the sum of all fears is mentioned several times in certain things that you can see. Trump is very specific about the songs that he plays, and they think he played this
Oh,
song for a
it means
reason.
none shall sleep.
Oh,
Nessun dorma.
none shall sleep.
None shall sleep. Nessun dorma.
He played a song at the end of his rally called "None Shall Sleep,"
And what'd you do, Deke? You went to bed.
and I went to bed. I missed the
So,
best part of the
Here,
rally.
yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. Here is on that same message, Ryan Mata. There's your you know opera at the party, and then here's, I guess, a clip of The Sum of All Fears where they're playing the same song. I remember watching this movie back in the 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
It was Batman.
It was bad.
I don't remember how he kills them all though, or how they all die. Who does it?
I don't remember the movie at all. I
The
would
gunman?
have to go back and watch it.
Is it Gary Sinise that does this?
Gary?
I remember one line from this movie, and it's this. During well, not a line, but one scene. There's one scene where, like, I think it's Jack Ryan, and he's, in DC trying to convince people that there's a nuclear threat.
You better pause it.
Oh yeah, there he is. There's Gary Sinise.
Oh, Liev
No,
Schreiber.
it wasn't. It was
Liev
it was
Schreiber.
Liam Schreiber. Sorry, my bad. I'll just mute it. And Liev Schreiber's out in the field, like in the snowy field, and he's being and he's contacted, and they're like, then we need you to do that. Didn't you check your email? And he's like, what's email? This guy is such an operator. he's not digital at all. And that's what I remember about this movie, is like the whole world was advancing to tech and stuff, and he's just like, I'm just a CIA killer, and that they send me out to neutralize bad guys.
I just
Do you
started
think-
the Reacher books, and he starts off like that. I don't have a mobile phone. I don't have an address.
Yeah. So, is it likely that Donald Trump put this message in there, or do you think somebody around Donald Trump who knows that he's like coming for the deep state, but they watch TV more than Trump does?
Oh
You think?
no! I firmly believe that Trump was like, play this song at the end. Get an opera, so don't just play it over the damn speakers. I want so and so opera singer to come out here and sing this
Yeah.
bitch on stage.
I mean,
at the end.
there is no coincidence. I'll give you this much of that kind of a conspiracy. There's no coincidence or whatever that he accidentally picked that song from so many years ago and had it performed live at the RNC. Oh my God! Don't do that. What are you doing? God, who pushed the button?
hideous. Don't
look
at No me. All right. Look, this week has been technically goofed up on our show, at least
Yeah,
twice.
Right now, do you all
It's my
know
fault.
that right now there's a big global shutdown on a lot of tech? Are you all
Yes,
aware of
it
that
really
right now?
bothered me yesterday at the office because I was trying to pull code down from our server, and Microsoft was like, "No, I'm not working right now."
Our airport shut down. I got in last night because I've been teaching a suicide alertness for everyone course this past week, and this is where I'm going to make my pitch that, hey, if you are feeling a certain way, like you're having thoughts of suicide, reach out to someone. I'm here. Catch me on the Discord server. You can DM me directly.
Yeah.
But there's all of us. Find somebody to talk to. 988 is a great number to use. 741-741. You can text that number, or you can call that number. 741-741. National
God,
Suicide Crisis Hotline.
You triggered a memory. You fired off some brain cells that hadn't been fired off in a long time when you said,
I'm glad
what was
I did
the
that.
number? 988.
988.
You know what popped into my mind when you said that? 588
2-300.
Empire.
Yep.
Do you remember that, JJ?
Wow. Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
All right.
Where'd that come from?
And this is the last thing, I guess. I mean, I was going to ask you about the badges because we had a conversation on Discord about badges. I
Yeah.
didn't know if you had decided what it was.
Yeah,
'cause there
definitely.
was
definitely a Secret Service badge.
so she
Which
is
Secret Service? Technically, she's also Department of Homeland Security because the
Yeah.
Department of Homeland Security took over Secret Service a couple of years ago. So she is Secret Service, and that is a Secret Service badge. There is a different badge that is specifically Department of Homeland Security,
So
but
everybody
that is
has
a
been
Secret Service
dogging on
badge.
this. Everybody's been dogging on this woman, and I have been excusing her because I was like, I know she's on the Secret Service detail, but she's probably a DHS agent. Wasn't really sure what was going on. It was confused or whatever. And I've been cutting her some slack.
That's a
And
Secret
you're
Service
telling
badge.
me, legit for real, that stupid woman actually is. They cannot
is
holster her sidearm. Is a Secret Service agent.
I have spoken with one Secret Service agent in my life that I know of. I met him at the chaplain's conference that I was at back
Could
in
he
March.
also not holster his sidearm?
I don't know what type of training and practice the Secret Service has. I know that there's a surprisingly small number of agents. I mean, there's obviously
I'm
enough
so
to.
disappointed right now.
I got
But
one.
yeah,
for
it
you
was.
guys.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
got one for you guys. I thought about this morning because this picture popped up and I was like, I need to take a screenshot of this picture just so I have it again on here. Okay. And let me show you the picture. I've got to go over here and do it this way. Iconic picture, right?
Amazing. Yes, for
I
sure.
want you to get this.
Mhm.
I want you to screenshot because this is an iconic photo. All right. And so we're talking, the conversation is about the female Secret Service agents, right? And
Yeah.
their what it seems to be like their inability to like be professional. You know, they were like, what do we do? Can't holster my gun. You know, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do? They're behind.
Right.
So that's been, so I was looking at this picture this morning, and I was looking at this guy right here and his concern on his
Nicolas
face.
Cage.
Yes.
Yeah. I was looking
Sorry.
at this guy and he's got his arm extended. This guy
Right.
behind him who's got his hand on Trump.
Yeah.
And then this agent
Actually,
has got her-
I think that hand is sunglasses on the right. That hand right there is sunglasses wrapped around Trump.
All the
this.
Yeah. That's this guy right here.
No.
Sunglasses and button. Yeah.
yeah,
He's got
yeah,
his
yeah,
arm
yeah,
wrapped
yeah.
right around him. And
Oh,
then you
okay.
have
But
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
who's
yeah.
on the
That's-
back of the
yeah,
lady?
you're right. That's this
the
guy
arm on the back of the lady
Yeah,
is the guy
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
in the armpit guy.
right
Yeah.
There's
here.
a lot of arms.
That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but look at her arm. She's got her sunglasses in her hand, but she's got her arm and fist in the air. And so the
Yeah.
question popped into my mind was, why does she have her fist in the air? And
Yeah.
then I looked at her mouth.
Yeah.
And so she's obviously saying something or making noise or something. And then it hit me that this is the moment that the crowd is going wild
Yeah.
and excitement is building everywhere.
Right.
So, you know, as well as I do, if you're not into a band or something like that at a concert with a bunch of live people and they're excited about it, you get excited about it. It's energy. So my question is, did she get caught up in the
I don't think
energy
so.
of what was going
well,
on? And when
it's a
everybody
picture.
was
This-
pumping and she was,
I'm reading this photo in a different
Yeah.
way. This
It's a
is
picture.
after he said fight, fight, fight. This is when they're saying USA, USA, USA. This is when that Secret Service team is like, come on, Trump, we're trying to get you off this stage. But he's like doing this. They're trying to move him off stage. The guy on the bottom right is down probably by stairs or a step, making sure
Mhm.
nobody trips or falls. And he's ushering. He's like, come on, move this way, move this way. And she's looking, she took the glasses off so she can see. That's why they're up in the air. And her arm is up because she's about to take a step of some kind and doesn't want to
Okay.
I
lose
want
her
to see the
footing.
video.
that's logical. That's logical. Also, looking at it now, it pops into my brain that, you know, she could be trying to create as much mass
Shield?
as possible to
Possibly,
protect
but
him. Like this, she could be trying to do. Okay, that's logical as well. That was just a thought that popped into my crazy brain this morning. I
It's
was
a
like, is she
picture.
getting caught up in the atmosphere?
A picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
That's right.
And
That's
those
right, yeah.
1,000 words can be different for every person who views it. So you got to watch the video in context to
Yeah.
see what it is.
I just
Yeah,
like.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna.
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna dog
it's
on her
one it's
there.
one shot, and you know, she also, you know, look, there's other photos of her like looking like half the size of Trump. You know, she's not covering his body mass, but she can't, and she's ducked down. But like I say, I know a lot of people on the internet have been like, you know, dogging on her and the other female Secret Service agents. But I honestly
Did you
thought that they
s-
weren't Secret
Did you
Service.
see the thing where it was talking about
Well,
how it had like a clip?
I'm just
of
telling you what the
people-
badge was.
Yeah.
I can't tell you if she's Secret Service or not.
Right. Did you see
Go
the
ahead.
clip where, or the little thing on Twitter where it was showing the Google search of Donald Trump's height, and it says 6'3", and it says the Google search of JD Vance's height, and it says
Yes,
5'7", and it's like
yes,
them standing right
yes.
next to each other, and they're the same
Yes.
damn height.
Yeah.
Yes,
Trump ain't
I've seen
6'3".
I've had that question asked to me about the local basketball star. I'm not going to say his name because he's going to be a big star. But they were asking me, it's like, is he really 6'2"? No, he's not 6'2". They introduced him as 6'2". That's all the wrestlers. They used to do that. The wrestlers 6'8", Kevin Nash. You know, I think Kevin Nash actually was 6'8", but they would say that stuff about those wrestlers, and they exaggerate that stuff by a couple of inches.
Now Hulk is pretty tall.
Hulk's like 6'6".
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Your song this week is, I don't have it up yet. I've been lazy about doing that this week. Your song this week is, I think it's called You Missed by, did JJ freeze?
I think he did. Yeah.
JJ froze. I'm going to shut him down so he'll know
Okay.
he froze. What's the rapper? I heard it last night.
Wrong question for me.
Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald.
Okay.
You know Tom
That doesn't ring any
McDonald.
bell.
Hang on, I'm gonna bring up a video. I'm not gonna bring up his song, but I'll bring up Tom McDonald for you.
I haven't got to listen to any of the shows this week or anything, so I'm assuming they're all shot related.
It's not my type of music all the time, but I love this guy's message.
But what was the theme this week
Uh,
on your songs?
hang on. Your theme this week was I think the first song was Rage Against the Machine, Bullet in the Head. The second song was I Shot the Sheriff. The third song, I can't remember them all. I didn't have one song one day. This
Did you
song,
do Nice Shot by was it
Hey Man, Nice Shot. That should have been
Yeah.
one filter.
Yeah.
Hey, Man, Nice Shot. Okay, so I'm trying to pull up this picture of Tom McDonald here for you from this video. This guy.
Oh yeah. I know him. He's the Christian rapper, isn't he?
Yeah, he cusses a lot. He's more of a political rapper.
Yeah, okay, that's it. He did the thing with Ben
Shapiro.
what's his name? Shapiro, yeah.
Yeah. His messages are dead on, and he is good. I mean, like I said, it's not my particular favorite type of music, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't hate that type of rap and stuff like that.
I just don't listen.
All right. I don't know if JJ's coming back. I just got a message. Hang on. I lost the internet or something. Oh no. All right.
We will finish strong. We got dad jokes then.
Yeah, we got jokes. All right, I'll go first. I
right.
talked to a buddy of mine the other day I hadn't seen in a long time in Walmart, and I knew that he had worked for Pepsi because every time I saw him in there, he was like stocking Pepsi and stuff, and he was in there in plain clothes, and I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" He says, "I think this is mine." He says, "Oh, I'm nothing. I'm looking for a job." And I was like, "Oh, are you not working for Pepsi anymore?" He's like, "No, I worked there for 20 years." I said, "What happened?" He said, "Oh, he tested positive for Coke."
I got a buddy who worked for Coke who, if he's like a bigwig there, and if his company car was ever seen at like a Taco Bell, which is a Pepsi distributor,
Mhm.
fired instantly.
Really?
They take that stuff seriously. You couldn't even
Wow.
eat at a restaurant that served Pepsi.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
And I'm
actually,
like, he works in Atlanta, so he's a bigwig with Coke.
when Ashley only drank Mellow Yellow, we couldn't eat at restaurants that served Pepsi. So,
All right. So one of my first jobs, people don't know this about me, but I worked at a bank. I did not last long, like maybe a day or two.
Yeah.
I got fired actually because this lady came in and she asked me to check her balance. So I
Yeah.
pushed her over.
It sucks, lady.
You don't
All
have a
right.
balance.
All right, JJ's gone. Thank you for watching. Let me find the outro because it's behind my camera.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter